on this beautiful face. Beautiful. Listen, you know something? I'm surprised that finally, for once, one of these films, these tape backs, showed the truth that Robert Fuller and Ted DiBiase lied. They let greed overtake their mind, and they left that fat hog for slaughtering, which is just what we did, and we finished them off for good. Because I never have to worry about that. I trust my life with these men. I don't have to worry. But where was the VTR of the six-man elimination where I put the big fat man out myself first, and when it got down to it, and it was me and DiBiase, and I whooped him and beat him in the Omni, and all 7 lumberjacks jumped on me, and I want to thank you for saving me, because if you hadn't have been there, even Joe Duke got on me, and I had to straighten him out later. But let me make a suggestion. The next time you wrestle us, get it together, baby, and get the ambulance there before the match. Save yourself some time, because time is of the essence. And in the Omni, you will be in the same line that Stan Frazier was to the hospital, because the belts mean more than Eddie. It's our bread and butter and nut nutter. And then January 2nd, it's Fantasia back to Gadsden. Tomorrow night, for the first time ever, for the first time in history, fabulous Freebird Fantasia goes to Columbus, Ohio. All the ladies are cold, but we're...
And for excellent reason, too. As you know, a special challenge was issued. Mr. Saito said he wanted to have Mr. Wrestling number 2 in his own kind of a match, a judo jacket match. Now, Wrestling 2 has wrestled the world over. He has faced that form of competition in the past, but obviously not with the skill and expertise that Mr. Saito had as a background.
No, I certainly didn't, Gordon. That was an experience within itself. But I enjoyed it for the simple reason is that the man himself made a mistake. And I capitalized on it, as you will see. In I believe you have some tape on that was taken during the time of the match. And you will see as I capitalize on his mistake.
And that, of course, is the name of the game. In this profession, in this sport, one mistake and it's all over. You just don't fumble the ball. There's no question about that. And may I just point out that we are going to be seeing in just a couple of moments the match between Wrestling 2 and Mr. Saito. And I want to point out once again, this was a direct challenge from Mr. Saito. He wanted judo jackets. That's how he figured he would finally humiliate Wrestling 2 and defeat him. So right now, let's go to the Omni, and let's take a look at the closing moments of this match, and I know it's a moment that you're going to enjoy reliving.
Yes. Well, here we are. Well, needless to say, I got a jacket on. He's got a jacket on. Well, I'm playing his game. We're coming into, you might say, a referee's position as far as the judo jacket is concerned. I'm very, very cautious at this particular point because I know that this man is well familiar with the jackets and far more than I am, Gordon, and I had to be very cautious and very careful.
Obviously, of course, you can use those jackets. You get tremendous extra leverage with them.
Well, as you see just then, I tried a little move myself, and which he has very, very good balance, good coordination. He tried to move, but I have fairly good balance myself on my feet, and even more so when I'm on the ground. But I like this. The man was just digging as hard as he could possibly dig. He felt and he knew within himself that he was going to tear me from limb to limb. But I had a few tricks up my sleeve also.
Certainly no question about it. And again, he tried for a throw. Well blocked by you. You're back to that side headlock. I notice you seem to be going back more to the basics of wrestling, where he is once again trying to concentrate on the jacket aspect of the attack, but you've been pretty well turning it in your favor.
Well, Gordon, wrestling has always been my life. It's been my entire career, and wrestling is what I know best. This man, he knows the judo jacket best, so all I could do is try to counter anything that he tried to pull on me, which worked out fairly well for myself.
Deeper into the match now.
At this point right here is where he made his mistake. When he took my jacket off, it put me back in my type of world. Without a jacket, I suddenly felt like me again. I felt like a new man. I felt that soft confidence shoot back into my body. And when he was strangling on me, something came over me that I can't explain. But I made my move. I came on him, and I poured everything I had on him. I felt this was it. This was the time And he, like I said, he started it, I finished it. He pulled the jacket off, so I said, well, okay, good enough. Then I'll just unload you from your jacket, pal, and we'll go all the way with no jackets and just finish it the way it should be done.
And, of course, using that tremendous knee lift now, utilizing that jacket, you're taking that off of him. So now, hang the jackets. It's just one man on one man. And he initiated it, so he asked for it.
Well, exactly right. He wanted to fall back on wrestling. That suited me fine because now he's in my area. He's in my bag. He's in my thing. I like this. I loved it so much. And he made the moves that I wanted him to make. He made the mistake, and I took advantage of it. Simple as that.
And full advantage at that, I might add. All right. Saito back on the canvas. There's that knee, and that has to spell defeat.
Well, it's been wonderful to me, Gordon. It's been absolutely wonderful to me, and I intend to carry it on and on and on and on, right on down the line. As I told you once before, I'm after a lot of things. You got a national heavyweight title match floating around here. I'm digging for that. I'm going to dig for it as hard as I can because I feel great. I feel like a winner, and there's no one that's going to stop me. The world's title is floating around. I'm going to dig for that also because I feel I've had time to sit back and regain a lot of self-confidence in myself. I've had time to regain power, regain my mind, my senses. And I've got it all back. I've never felt greater in my entire life, and I'm coming all the way. So all you big champions out there, beware of two.
A lot of people like Sexton, you know, they see this title. All of a sudden they get ideas in their head. They say, well, I want to beat that man and take that belt. Well, you know, when I was chasing after the title, I didn't know how hard it was for the people to hold on to this belt. You know, when you got this belt, you gotta keep it. Getting it is one thing, but keeping it all together a different thing.
You realize that it gets a little bit lonely up there, doesn't it? Everybody's shooting at you.
Yes, it does. You know, you don't know who your friend is. A couple of weeks back, I said, well, Kevin Sullivan, he definitely got to be my friend because I took the man to the gym. I trained him with the weights. Me and him, we worked out together. We were tag team partners, everything together. Then all of a sudden the man turned around, stabbed Kevin Sullivan. Kevin Sullivan stabbed Steve Kern in the back. Then he turned around and stabbed me in the back. Smiled in my face, cut my throat behind my back. What kind of stuff is that? That ain't no cannibal, man. That ain't no cannibal human being. That ain't no cannibal individual. Sullivan, I know you somewhere around. Last time I was here, said you got out here saying something about you got more soul than I got. That's right. What kind of stuff is that? You ain't got nothing. Never did, never will. And Sullivan...
Well, let me interrupt for just a second. Let me just say this. When you go back to the Omni to defend your Georgia Heavyweight Championship, your opponent this time is, as far as I'm concerned, he'll meet you head on.
He was just talking about that Alexis Smirnoff.
Exactly.
Alexis Smirnoff was here one time with a partner. He wrestled against me and Kevin Sullivan and Smirnoff. He believed in superiority. He believed that he's so much better than everybody else. The man believed can't nobody do nothing to him. But I don't believe that. We never had, never will, and never did. I don't believe that anybody better than me. I don't believe I'm any better than anybody else. But I tell you one thing, I deeply believe I can take care of myself in that ring. And anybody, wrestler or civilian that think I'm wrong, get on in the square circle, Smirnoff, anyone else.
The state of Missouri weighing in at 260 pounds, 5 times in current world heavyweight champion, Harley Race. Harley Race.
Harley Race, and there you see it. The diamond and gold heavyweight championship belt. That belt originally cost $10,000, but that was before gold skyrocketed like it did. And I would hesitate to try and put the price on that belt at this point in time. I've asked Tony Atlas to join me here. I thought he might lend some interesting comments to this, in as much as he is a Georgia heavyweight champion.
Yeah, you know, anytime that I've Harley Race in the ring, I always like to be around just to watch this man in action. You know, I have watched Jimmy Jones. I have watched Jimmy Jones in the past, and I think the man is an outstanding wrestler. And for him just to get a match with the world champion, Harley Race, I know what this means to him. He was talking to me in the back, and he said, man, this is my chance wrestling the world champion. This is what I always waited for. So I just wanted to watch and see. Now, Harley Race, he's a man where he looked like sometimes he's in trouble. but he's a champion, so you got to be careful. Like, look at now here he lifts a 230-pound man up with just his neck. And that takes endurance and takes strength. I see why. That's incredible.
Jimmy Jones hurtled into that turnbuckle, caught that top rope and top turnbuckle, and that would have caved in the average man's chest, but it has had its effect on Jones as well.
Yeah, he trained long and hard for this match with Harley. He knew he was going to have it. He went into serious training, and now I see all that training was really necessary for him to go through that training to be in the ring with a man with the standards of Harley Race.
Race has him up. Full slam on Jones, has him back to the canvas once again. Harley Race driving that knee, and of course that is something that he has perfected in professional wrestling. A lot of people have tried to duplicate it, but nobody has the devastating power that Race has in the driving with that knee.
You know, Harley Race, I watch him, the more I watch him, now I got to stand here and admit the truth is the light. Harley Race is a very impressive wrestler, and always been impressed with the longer he had, the tighter, and his outstanding wrestling ability in the ring. As far as his attitude is concerned, that's it.
Count of three. Count of three, it is all over for Jimmy Jones and Harley Race.
Now, what is this? What is this here, Gordon?
Well, I don't know. Wait just a minute now. Harley Race apparently was going to inflict some more damage on Jimmy Jones, but Tony Atlas broke it up, and Race, completely stunned by that situation, has rolled outside the ring. Tony Atlas standing alone. Harley Race slammed from the top rope, and Tony Atlas helping him out. We'll be back. We'll be back in just a moment.
And then Atlas.
Ladies and gentlemen, this match will be one fall with a 10-minute time limit. Introducing first, weighing in at 228 pounds, Golden Boy Donovan. His opponent from Omaha, Nebraska, weighing in at 247 pounds, Ted DiBiase.
Ted DiBiase going up against Donovan, and who has acquired the title of Golden Boy Donovan. One fall, 10-minute time limit. And some problems here in getting this match underway. Donovan, who is obviously in tremendous condition, and DiBiase thinks very little of all of that. Let me see if I can't get a hold of Robert Fuller and get him in here to make some comments. Donovan looks good, but DiBiase doesn't want to spend any time posing out there. He wants to wrestle.
Yeah, it looks like that's the case. This ought to be a real hot match right here. That this Donovan out on the West Coast is well known. He's made quite a name for himself. And as you know, Gordon, this television goes everywhere. And he's really got his career on the line right here against Ted DiBiase.
Certainly no question about that. And for everything that has occurred earlier, no one can deny the tremendous conditioning of Donovan. He's an outstanding athlete. And DiBiase is going to have his hands full.
That's correct, but I'll tell you what, I got more faith in this young man, Ted DiBiase. I'll tell you, he's a great guy. He's got a heart about big around as the world, and one of the finest wrestlers I've seen since I've been in professional wrestling.
Again, DiBiase being warned by the referee at the insistence of Donovan. Donovan backing away once again. And once again, their collar and elbow.
Say, if you're going to go out there and meet Ted with a defensive attitude, you're not going to do very well. This Donovan's going to have to come out there with a little better offense and go after Ted DiBiase if he expects to get anywhere in this match, because Ted, as you know, is all aggression, man. He's going to go out there and beat this man unless he can show some positive attitude in there.
Donovan stalking his man once again. DiBiase waiting. They meet collar and elbow toward the center of the ring. And it's DiBiase getting a side headlock on Donovan. And DiBiase keeping the pressure on that side headlock. And now Donovan, who is complaining bitterly about illegal and extra-legal advantages, took one himself. Wow, and that shoulder smash almost ripped him apart.
Ted's back into that headlock. You know, I've had a lot of partners throughout my career in wrestling, but I'm going to have to say this about Ted DiBiase. He's one of the finest I've ever had. My brother and I wrestle well together in the ring, but I'll tell you, I just have to say we don't do any better than Ted and myself do, and we really got some big things in mind, Gordon.
Well, let's certainly hope so, and let's certainly hope that the Georgia Tag Team Championship is one of them. We know that to be a fact. And
Absolutely.
Donovan caught now in that side headlock by Ted DiBiase. DiBiase keeping the pressure on, and Donovan trying to get some extra advantage there. Lost it very quickly. Leapfrog by DiBiase into the flying drop kick as Donovan to the canvas. And Donovan.
I think that's the best place for Donovan. He caught him right on the edge of that chin, it looked like. And a few drop kicks like that will wear him down a great deal.
Donovan thinking it over and shaking his head, trying to clear those cobwebs, moves back to the ring now. And he's back in the ring in no uncertain terms.
Right, Ted just catapulted him right over top of those ropes there. He thought he took a heck of a shot there in his back, so he just snatched him up and gave him the slam, and that's a very smart technique on Ted's part. What an elbow there.
Donovan back to his feet once again. DiBiase in behind him. Sets him for a fall. Well executed. And Donovan's got some problems now, trying to slip away.
We've seen Ted DiBiase on the offense. That's the thing I called for right off the beginning. Teddy goes out there and he's got one thing in his mind, and that's winning, going after the man, putting him down, and keeping him on that mat till he can get those shoulders down. 1, 2, 3. He's an aggressive person. I like to wrestle with an aggressive person.
DiBiase caught that time by Donovan. Donovan had some extra leverage that time. DiBiase and the referee able to break that up, however. Now, down across the throat, and that too is broken. So Donovan becoming obviously increasingly frustrated as DiBiase continues to dominate the situation. Off the ropes once again. Donovan drove a knee. DiBiase down, and Donovan trying to turn the tide of this one, Robert.
That's right. As you see there, he's using the fist. He's going to use the knees, and he's got Ted in a pretty bad position right here. Ted's going to have to come out of this pretty fast.
Forearm by Donovan now has DiBiase back toward his original corner.
Ted took a real shot in that corner there, just to flatten the face on that turnbuckle, and that's got to weaken him down some.
Well, you know, Robert, you were saying that Donovan has established and developed quite a reputation out on the west coast of the United States. And here he's taken some of the very, very best that DiBiase's had to offer and has recouped it well and is back in there very much the aggressor, albeit he is taking some shortcuts.
Yeah, I see that he's done that, and I don't know what to say at this point. I'm not pleased with that. I wish that Ted could come out of this thing and show a little more shine. Donovan surely got him in a bad position right there.
He has indeed. DiBiase back to the canvas once again. And Donovan now definitely feeling a new course of confidence charging through his body. A snap there has DiBiase down. And I guess, though, when you stop to think of the intricacies of this sport, it only takes that 3-second mistake, that one little mental lapse, and suddenly the whole tide of the battle can change.
Absolutely. That's what makes the game right there, Gordon. That 3-second spot you talked about. Donovan's getting leverage off of those ropes right there. Now, we've seen him use the knee, use his fist, absolutely using leverage off of those ropes, and really boasting about it also.
The referee caught him that time, forced the break. But he has sorely depleted the oxygen supply on Ted DiBiase. And, of course, this has to slow the mental processes and makes it a lot more difficult to move. Right down into the sternum area.
That's time for Ted to get some initiative here to start to move this match in his direction. If it keeps going like this, that 3-second period could catch up with him, like we said. So Ted's going to have to come out there. The people are cheering him on, and I believe he's going to come out of this thing. Let's go, Ted.
Well, obviously, the psychological edge of having the people cheering and rooting for you
has to be, and again, if you get back to a situation so many times, it's not. Beautiful move by Donovan. Has DiBiase back to the canvas.
You know, I heard you mention earlier about the Giant and the fact that he's kind of a slow burner. His temper don't get hot that fast. Well, Ted's a lot like that. But I'll tell you, this Donovan boasting about some good shots there. He missed that one right there. I think he's going to have to pay the toll a little bit when Ted comes out of this thing.
DiBiase coming up very slowly, so is Donovan. And DiBiase fires a left hand to the midsection, a forearm to the rib cage. The back of the hand to the side of the jaw has Donovan back to the canvas. And DiBiase now beginning to explode on Donovan. And so DiBiase, who may have just been lulling Donovan into a bit of false security here, although he was in trouble a couple of times, has certainly proven that second effort is so doggone important. That heart is so important.
I think that's right. I think he's got Ted DiBiase's damper up here.
Wow.
Almost like a power slam there, like a power hip toss that took him right over for that 3 count. Very impressive.
Impressive indeed, and there it was in less time, in less than a twinkling in an eye. Ted DiBiase turned it.
Take a couple of moments.